What's up, y'all? Will here at Schedulefly, and this is another episode of the Restaurant Owners Uncorked podcast, brought to you by us here at Schedulefly. Schedulefly.com, simple, web-based restaurant employee scheduling software backed by legendary customer service. And I do mean legendary customer service. If that's important to you, and you want a simple way to relieve your scheduling and communication headaches with you and your team, check us out. We have a 30-day free trial. And by the way, we're at a low price point. We have not raised our prices since 2007, and you heard that correctly, 2007. So for like $1 a day, total, like $1 a day. I'm talking $30 a month, maybe 40 if you have a little bit more staff. You can get rid of all your scheduling headaches. You can make life easier for owner, manager, employees. This thing's an employee benefit. So if you're emailing schedules out or printed versions of Excel spreadsheets and people are on text chains trying to trade shifts, or they're on WhatsApp or all this other stuff, just check out Schedulefly. My personal cell phone number's on there. You can call me. Happy to talk to you about it. We're at schedulefly.com. 30-day free trial. We'd love a chance to earn your business. Okay. Today, slightly different episode, shorter episode. I'm going to read an article that really affected me when I read it. It's written on posted on March 13th, 2025 by Simon Harris, Blau and Associates. And I loved the article. I printed the article. I underlined, highlighted, circled lots of this article as I'm sitting here looking at this printed version. I got in touch with Simon and asked him to come on the podcast, and fortunately, he agreed. So once you hear this article, I would immediately go listen to his episode. It's an extended hour-long version of the concepts that he talks about here. So, and this article is titled "The Lost Art of the Maitre d'." So without further ado, here we go. There's something unmistakable about a well-led hospitality team. You feel it before you see it. It's in the calm under pressure, the synchronicity of service, the glance between colleagues that says everything without a word. There's rhythm, care, and flow. It's like a perfectly choreographed ballet. Guests feel it too. They may not know exactly what it is, but they'll leave saying, there's just something about that place. That something is leadership, but not leadership as it's often taught. Not the chain of command, not the profit and loss, not the meeting after meeting. True hospitality leadership is quieter than that, less visible in some ways, but more in others, more human. It starts with clarity, not the kind found in rigid standard operating procedures or sequences of service, but clarity of purpose, clear communication rooted in outcomes, not dogma. When teams know why they're doing something, not just how, they're more invested, more flexible, and more capable of responding with purpose, not just compliance. Great leaders don't bark orders or fist pound the manual as if it were the holy book. They narrate the bigger picture. We're here to make people feel welcome, seen, appreciated. From that clarity, decisions become easier. Whether someone is folding napkins or handling a service recovery, they understand the intention behind the action, and that's what empowers real service. But clarity alone isn't enough. Leaders must also think and help others to think. That means cultivating critical thinking, not just for strategy, but for real-time decisions hospitality demands. Should we comp this? Should I bend the rule? Should I intervene now or wait? In these moments, a leader's job is not to prescribe every move, but to build teams who can reason, assess, anticipate. Here, I often return to a Korean concept called nunchi, the subtle art of sensing others. It's about reading a room, understanding emotional undercurrents, being attuned to what isn't being said. In hospitality, nunchi is gold. It's contagious. When leaders model atonement when they pause to notice, ask, and adjust. It gives permission for others to do the same. The floor becomes a space of mutual awareness where service flows not from scripts, but from human sensitivity. That's why leading from the floor matters so much. The best hospitality leaders are not above the action, but in it. Not just checking standards, but sensing. They move through the room with quiet purpose, eyes open, ears tuned, hearts available. They see the dishwasher who's falling behind and the server who's just had a tough table. They know their presence brings steadiness. And when leaders are present, others show up too. Not just physically, but emotionally. They feel supported, seen, held. And that brings us to trust. Many teams operate in a culture of fear, of messing up, of being blamed, of losing face. True hospitality thrives in the opposite environment. Psychological safety. The freedom to try, to miss, to recover. The space to own up without shame. In this kind of culture, accountability isn't punitive. It's relational. It's not, you failed, but let's walk through what happened. And that, over time, builds resilience. Mistakes, after all, are inevitable. It's how we treat them that matters. When leaders respond with curiosity, not condemnation, they unlock growth. When they ask, what did we learn? Instead of, who messed up? They cultivate problem solvers, not rule followers. This links directly to mentorship, which is far more than quarterly check-in or formal program. Mentorship is a daily posture. It's coaching in the moment, not corrective after the fact. It's noticing someone's potential before they do. It's giving feedback not as criticism, but as care. And it's especially vital in an industry where so many learn on the job. In environments where leaders mentor rather than manage, staff don't just stay longer, they grow deeper. And mentorship flows both ways. A strong leader is a lifelong learner and curious enough to look to others within their own team for personal growth. This is nothing more beneficial than when learning is intergenerational. None of this can happen in a vacuum. Culture is everything. And culture in great hospitality environments is shaped by who we hire and why. Hire only for skill, you'll forever be plugging gaps. Hire for heart, for character, curiosity, generosity, and you will build a team with shared values. I'm not talking about culture fit in the sense of sameness. I mean alignment of purpose. People who want to make others feel good, who understand that hospitality is not a performance, but a way of being. And when you've got that team, the next step is to let them do it. Let them be themselves. Hospitality should not be robotic. Guests respond to authenticity, not uniformity. Let your people speak in their own voices, offer ideas, connect in ways that feel natural, create structure, but not at the expense of individuality. The best teams don't all move in lockstep. They move with coherence, not conformity, because that's what allows real communication to flourish between team members and with guests. It's worth mentioning that teamwork doesn't mean blending everyone into the same tone. It means creating the conditions where different people can work together, bring their strengths, and feel safe doing so. It's about unity, not uniformity. And that takes real leadership that trusts more than it controls. Hospitality is a high-touch, high-stakes, emotionally charged environment. That's why empathy must sit at the core of leadership. That doesn't mean leniency. Great leaders hold high standards. They expect excellence. But they lead with humanity, not ego. They correct without shaming. They praise meaningfully. They never forget that people are not machines. In many ways, the best leadership feels almost invisible. Not because it isn't there, but because it's embedded into the rhythms of service, the mood of a team, the spirit of a place. You don't remember the pep talk or the operations meeting, you remember how you felt. Safe, empowered, challenged, and seen. I got chill bumps right now from reading that. That is a masterpiece in what hospitality is all about. And I would encourage you, whether it's a restaurant that you run or any kind of business, this is what creates great teams and creates great businesses. I believe that to my core. So all the concepts in here, in my mind, should be applied whether it's a restaurant or whether it's a scheduling software business like ours. I'm going to tell Simon about this episode. I hope he's happy about it. I think I'm going to ask forgiveness, not permission, in case he doesn't want me to do what I'm about to suggest, which is I'd like to start reading his articles on a recurring basis on here, giving him all due credit, of course. They're incredible. This is not the only one I've read that I just nodded intensely. He's a great writer. More importantly, he's a great hospitalitarian. He understands it so fundamentally well and what it's all about. It's hard to put your finger on it, but when you have a mind like Simon's that has lived it and gets it, and his ability to articulate it and communicate it like this, I think you have something special. So thank you, Simon, for writing this. Thank you all for listening. Simon's he's at Blau and Associates. He's a luxury hospitality consultant with over 25 years in senior leadership within the hotel sector. And you should look him up and follow him. Thank you all for listening. More episodes coming soon. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, call me, text me, let me know. 704-906-2031. That's my personal cell. It's a flip phone. I'd love to hear from you. See you.